Alright, well, I got it all painted. And the only thing I have to do is put this trim in, and I can't do that until I get my deadbolt in and I can remove this. So right now it's a half-assed frame job. But we'll do it. And of course it had to end down here like that, but you know, that don't look that bad. That don't look bad at all. Well, good morning. Today's another day. About ready to measure for the back set for the deadbolt. This is where we're going to put it. Two and 3/8 was what we're going to use. Take my awl and make a hole there. Take the marking pen. That's where we're going to go. We're going to do that first. Before we do that, we're going to get the center here. And to do that, I'm going to get my quick square out. Where? We draw a line. And because these are 2 3/4 inch pieces of plywood, when I drill in here, we'll be in the dead center, but we're going to drill the big hole first. Before we do, we double check. Perfect. 2 and 3/8 inch back set. On the other lock, I used 2 and 3/4. I don't think it really makes any difference. All right. Push this up against the tree here. Still not through that yet. That's my mark. Tell me when I'm halfway through the wood. What we're going to do is we're going to take my regular drill and just go through there, and then I'll go on to the other side. What you want to do is to always do it halfway and then go from the other side. Otherwise you'll have the wood all splintered out. Close this up. I'm going to make sure I'm in there. I'm in the hole here. Just to double check it. Okay. perfect hole. Alright. Change the hole saw out here. Take the mandrel out. We'll put the mandrel in the 1-inch hole saw. Snug it up gently with a pair of pliers. You don't have to go too tight because they turn clockwise anyways. Put that in. Get on my stool. I have to do this one standing up so I can get the right angle. Now I got a 2x4 against this door holding it to the tree. Hopefully it stays there. Close as I can tell. We're going to stick the thing in there and just see what it does. Alright. Now this is probably out of focus, but there's a word up. So this part goes up. Doesn't go this way, it goes this way. Alright, it fits in perfectly. All I got to do is mortise this out. Put screws in there. And she's still clear the back, almost a 1/4 inch. If for some reason these don't clear the back, you just take your hole saw and continue on. But that particular hole saw that I got will not go all the way in here, so you'd have to use one of them flat blade jobs. Stick it in this hole and then drill a little further back so that this part here will go all the way in. But there's not a problem right now. There's about a 1/4 inch clearance in the back, and when I get this mortised out here, it'll probably just be touching the back of that. Alright, with my big fat head in the way, you probably won't see very much. But we just got to simply mark it to get it centered here. There's a little play there. That's where I got to chisel out. Okay, we'll do that off camera. We'll come back on here in a little while. Probably didn't have to mortise this at all, but I'm afraid it would have screwed up the back set. But she clears good with a good 1/8 inch between that and the deadbolt. Now I'm going to see if the lock fits in there. Alright, she went in perfectly. I wish it wasn't gold, but that just happens to be the color it is. That's all they had at the hardware store. Get a little cheaper at my local hardware store than I did at Home Depot. Most of the things, though, is more expensive at my local hardware store. Alright, so that's how she's going to be. Then I'll have a pull handle on this. Alright, I got to get to work and put this in. I'll be back on the video in a little while. Alright. Now, I'm going to do, like I did on the others, if you watch my other videos on the shed door that I built last year, you take a little paint or something and put on the end of this, and very quickly go over here, get you a better view here. So with the paint on here, we go like that a couple times, and what it'll do is it'll leave a mark here, and then I can drill for my deadbolt strike plate, which is going to be here. I'm not wanting to open up a can of paint, I just put some caulking in there. Same thing, it'll serve the same purpose. We close this door, put my knee up against it to make sure she's closed good. And get the imprint hopefully on there. There's your imprint, and that's what we got to drill. Now, unfortunately, we got a plywood here. When I made this, I should have made this so this goes back more, so I'm grabbing more of the 2x4. So, the hole is going to be on the edge of this 2x4 and into the plywood. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of metal underneath the trim that I put down here. Put a piece of metal underneath there. I have a piece in the shed, and that'll make that secure. About good 3/4 of an inch in there. Damn it. We got a damn nail right in the middle. See, when I made this, I didn't know exactly where the deadbolt was going to be. I was careful with this. I need to go in deeper, but I got a damn nail in the way. I'm taking cold chisel and knock it out of the way and continue drilling. Well, sometimes, you know, you screw up. I got to get that out. That's a number 6. That's either a number 4 by accident. Sometimes I got 4s mixed in, or it's a number 6. You should be able to get that out of there. Bang it out. Oh boy. Well, let's hope I didn't. I don't think I hurt my bit any. Certainly didn't do it any good. I got double 2x4 on these walls here. All right. Oh yeah, now she goes all the way. All right, I'll just put a handle here. Now I can, what I'm going to do is put a piece of metal right in here. It's not going to be all that thick. It'll be about an 1/8 inch thick or so. Maybe not even that. Probably more like 18 gauge. Just put a piece in here. We'll nail it in, and I'll put the trim right over it. Pre-drill through the metal so that I can nail on my trim. Alright. Alright, what I got is probably 20 gauge. So I got 2 of them, galvanized. We're going to put a double here. Right in the dead center of this. The trim will go over this. All I got to do is cut them down with a 10 snips. Cut cut off a little bit so that they don't show on the outside here. I'll come back on this video when I'm done with that. Alright, I got 2 nails started here. This is in the dead center of the deadbolt. Now this is pretty flush. These are 2 pieces of metal here. So with the trim on top of it, you're not going to see it. I got to put more nails in this, but let me show you. Like that. The door will close right like that. That's the way I want it. And of course this gets painted. This gets painted regular like the rest of it. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I gotta pre-drill and drill a couple more, put a couple more nails in it, but I got a double 2x4 in here, so there's no point in nailing it into the plywood only. We're gonna come back to the second 2x4 over here. Should be right about here. Very good. Now, we'll make the trim up and we're back. Don't go away. Alright, so I get you a better look here. Alright, we're going to nail that up now. We've got a couple of pre-drill holes in here. And we want it flush with the plywood. Coming down right to the threshold. Put a nail down at the bottom, make sure she's lined up. Got a pre-drill. If I don't, I'll crack the wood. Or bend the nail over. I shouldn't, instead of being the old goat, I should be called a nail bender. Make sure. In the metal. Make sure we're away from the deadbolt. With pre-drilling. Put one more. Alright, this is just about the conclusion of this video here. I'm just going to be painting this up a little bit. I'm going to show you something. That's been painted a week ago. It's dry, sun's on it and everything else. This is crap paint, I'm telling you. It scrapes right off. It's nothing more than kids' watercolor. But it looks good, that's all I can say about it. It's a brand name too, Kilts, siding, fence, and paint, foreign paint. Big joke. Every time I lay something up against here, like a piece of wood or something, it's just gentle, and it scratches the paint right off. That looks good. Nothing more than kids' watercolor. I can let this dry on my hands all day. I could put it under a cold water faucet outside and wash it right off. Now if this was Glidden white paint and you did that, it'd be a hell of a job getting off. But this redwood comes right off like nothing. There's only one coat of paint on the door, but it don't matter if I had 10 coats on it, it would still scrape off. I put a handle on here. Let that dry here. Well, that concludes the video on the door project. Thank you very much for watching.